Hey everybody, how are you tonight? I am going live in the dark, sort of. I know it doesn't look like I'm in the dark. However, and I'm going to try to get my hotspot going on my iPad so I can do this. We just lost power, just as I was getting ready to hit play. So I am without power in beautiful Wells, Maine. So this is the card. This is not actually the card we're doing. We're doing the one that I posted, but this is for all intents and purposes the same card. This is actually the card I gave my son for his birthday today. He turned 25. He's a quarter century years old, and I'm, very proud of the young man he's become, and I think he is amazing. So I gave him this card. It's really quite simple to do, and I'm using some supplies that maybe we just don't use a whole lot. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to make a smaller card. I'm going to use it on one of our note cards. So the note cards come with envelopes, and I'd like to say I could find my envelope right now, but my light is kind of limited to right here. So maybe we'll find it, maybe we won't. We'll see. So note cards and envelopes. I'm going to take another piece of basic white that I've pre-cut. And you don't have to do this, but I think it looks really kind of yucky if you do it directly on this card, because oftentimes the ink will seep through and you just don't want that. So I cut a piece of basic white that is the same. It is the same measurements as the card front. You can cut it smaller, doesn't matter. I just cut it the same. We're also going to be using a scrap piece of basic white and a piece of basic black. I'm going to bring in my brick and mortar 3D embossing folder right now. And this is a great little folder. My voice keeps going in and out. Sorry. I'll try to show you everything that we do. And I'm sure it's because we have no power. So here's the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. And the 3D just means it's going to be extra deep. And so there is lots of texture in this. I'm going to bring this in here. I want my card to go landscape. So I have my bricks running this way. I'm going to bring in my number 1 plate. Ooh, looks like I've got a piece of cat hair. That's from my black cat. So let me realign this. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to put it in on my number 1 plate, and then I'm going to put the number 4 plate on top. So with the thick embossing folders, that's what you want to have for a sandwich. I'm going to bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in, and remember, your folded edge goes in first. Yes, Vivian, I don't have any power either. Vivian's right around the corner from me, so that kind of makes sense. Our neighborhood is out. The Stamperhood is out. All right, so now I have some nice texture on this. Let me hold it a little closer so you can see the nice texture. Really looks like a whitewashed brick wall. Let me get that out of the way. Now what I want to do is I want to put some color on the back. So I need to do a little bit of stuff here. I'm going to bring in this big piece of scrap. This is actually just the back of... it's one of the chipboard pieces that come with the designer series paper. So I save those because it makes for a great scrap. I'm going to bring in a Stampin' Spritzer. And you can get 2 of these for $3. So it's a really great deal. You can rinse them out and change colors. I have currently Bermuda Bay in there. And I'm going to, because that's what I used on my card, I'm going to just stick with that color scheme. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up to about the bottom of the logo, because I don't need a ton here, but I know I don't have enough right now to do the card. I might, but I do want to show you as well what I'm doing. So I'm going to take off the cover. I'm going to unscrew that. And I'm going to use alcohol with this. You can use water, but the alcohol will let it dry faster, so you can use it faster. Obviously, I could use a heat tool to dry my product. Not tonight, obviously, but in general I could. But things lay flatter and better if you just let it kind of dry naturally. So I'm going to fill up my spritzer with some alcohol just to the bottom of that logo, and let me just see if I can. All right, so I need a little bit more. These pipettes come in handy because I probably could not fill this very well on my own without making a mess. All right, so let me just put the cover on my alcohol, and this is the alcohol that we had used for the alcohol blending kind of technique earlier this summer. But any, you know, the higher the alcohol content, the better, the faster it dries. I'm going to take my re-inker, and for this amount of alcohol, you probably need like 10 drops. I'm not going to put quite as many in there because I did start with some to begin with, so I might do like 6 or 7. All right, that might actually be 8, whatever. It seems like a lot, but it really is not a lot of drops. There's, you know, there is a lot in these re-inkers. I was thinking today that I think I'm going to get together a class, kind of like a master class of things you can do with re-inkers, because it's not just re-inking your ink pads, that's for sure. So now I put the cover on and I'm shaking it just to mix it all up. And you can mix colors in here too. If you don't, you know, if you don't have a certain color, you can try to approximate it by, you know, adding some different tones. If I wanted to make this a little more green, I could add some yellow if I had yellow re-inker. All right, so I'm going to now bring my piece of basic white cardstock back in here, and I can see that the video's a little choppy, and I think that's, again, I'm kind of limited by my iPhone right now and no power, so hopefully we can, I don't know, figure something out. I've got a big area here. I'm going to have to hold it up a little bit because I want it to look like the paint that I'm quote unquote spraying on this piece of paper is dripping down, like you'll see in, you know, in real graffiti. And I'm holding it relatively close here, and I'm just going to keep spritzing. By the way, you can kind of just try it on your scrap first. And you want that nice concentrated look, and you can see how it's starting to run. And I don't want it to run all the way down. So when it's like I want it, like it is right now, I'm just going to let that lay flat. And the alcohol will evaporate, and you can see I have still quite a bit more. I can do another couple cards probably with this. But I'm going to just let this dry. I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to do the rest of the card elements. I think my husband is out there starting the generator, so I might have power before too long. I'm not sure. So now I've got this scrap, and I'm going to be using, and if I can find it here, the Amazing Thanks dies. And they coordinate with these amazing silhouette stamps. That's why I keep them in here. But honestly, these are really standalone dies because they're just words. So you've got you and R and amazing and thanks. And it's not only the words themselves, but you've also got like a background, like a shadow for it. So let's see, I'm going to take thanks. And I want to cut the thanks out of the white. And I'm going to cut the more bold, the shadow, out of the basic black. And I decided, remember my goal is to always decorate the envelopes now too. I'm going to go into my Sweet Conversations dies, the sweetheart dies, and I'm going to take out a heart. And I'm going to put that in there as well. because I'm going to decorate the envelope. You'll see. Let me just move this so I can bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back. And let's see. So we've got a number 1 plate, and we've got a, let's see, I need to find my other plates. A little bit harder in the dark. Let's see. Here they are. Okay, and I've got a number 2 plate, a number 3 plate. I'm going to put those there. And I'm going to put the black one. I don't need quite as fat a piece of the black, so I'm going to just trim it down a little bit so it fits on here with the white. And then I'm going to get a top plate over the top. And just run that through. Whoops. So here's the black piece. Here's the heart. All right. Everybody have a good week, by the way? Mine seemed to be pretty good. I'm getting back in the swing of things. You know how it is with the holidays. Sometimes it takes a while to get back. I do have a brush that kind of gets these pieces out very nicely, but I think it's packed away. Exciting news, I heard from IKEA today that it looks like my shelving unit that I didn't know when was coming in, and I actually thought it was like 4 months delayed, might be coming in a week or so. Woohoo! My craft room is coming together very shortly because my floor comes next week too, I think. Very exciting stuff. All right, I'm going to bring in a piece of grid paper so I don't get my table all messy. I've got 3 colors of inks, dark pumpkin pie, and I'm using dark melon mambo because I like those really, really vibrant colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the top, and I'm just adding, probably actually for half of it, I'm adding the daffodil. Now I don't want half of it to be daffodil, but I do want it to blend nicely. So that's why I'm doing half. And so then the middle 50%, so not a quarter here and not a quarter there, I'm going to be doing with the pumpkin pie. So I'm overlapping what I just did a bit. And then actually probably want to go a little bit lower because I do want to blend it with the pink as well. All right. And then I'm going to take my melon mambo and do the same thing. So let me move that off a little bit. And so I can see I missed a couple spots here and there. I'm going to just try to, there we go. Now I can do some more blending here. You always want to blend with the lighter of the 2 colors. I'm going to take the bullet end here and just sort of blend together where the pink and the orange meet, where the pumpkin and the melon mambo meet. That just softens those edges a bit. And then I'm going to take the lighter color and blend a little bit more where the orange, the pumpkin pie, and the daffodil meet. So this is not my idea. I didn't come up with this idea, obviously, because it's genius. So, but I did see it. And this was actually a design created by Shannon West, who actually works for Stampin' Up, but she's also a demonstrator. And I just thought it was genius, so I had to do it. Oh, let's see, we have to also do our heart, don't we? So let's go back here, and I'm gonna lay down half of it in my daffodil, and then I'm gonna lay another, you know, half there, and then I'm gonna do overlap. There we go. I'm gonna come back in with my lighter color and blend here a little bit. And you'll see that when it dries, it actually blends a whole lot better too. But you're just gonna go over where they meet. So, there, we've got, let me bring it out over here so you can see. So you can see it's looking kind of fun, right? But what really sets it off is the black. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some green glue, and I am going to just apply a little teeny tiny bit in a couple areas. It doesn't even have to be on the whole thing. Now some of you are thinking, oh, you should have used an adhesive sheet on the backing there. I'm not sure if the Stampin' Blends, because you see they go through, I'm not sure if the alcohol from them would have done something to the adhesive, so I didn't actually bother. And honestly, these letters are thick enough, so it's going to be fine. So let me just bring my black piece in here. Layer it on, and look at how that just pops. Do I get an ooh and an ah? I just absolutely love, 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 love this. So there's that. I'm going to come in and I'm going to take some the mini dimensionals, and these are actually ones that are left over from a paper pumpkin. I'm going to put some of them on there because I'm going to lift this off the wall. Even though graffiti is not lifted off the wall, I just think it makes a cooler look. You can attach it directly if you want to. Let's see, I'm going to try to squeeze one in here. Whoops. It's got the backing on it. Yeah, that's good. And maybe one more over on the other end here. Okay. All right, I'm going to put another one. I just want to make sure it's balanced so it's not flopping all around somewhere. Okay, let's see, where's my take your pick tool? It takes these things off a whole lot easier. I haven't perfected it yet. I have with the regular minis, but not, there's something about these paper pumpkin leftover minis that they're different. They're not quite as nice as the mini dimensionals that we have. That one's going away. Just not as nice as the ones that we have in the regular part of our catalog. You can definitely feel the difference. All right. I'm going to put one back where I lost the other one. I'm going to take the top off before I even put it down. All right, so that's ready to go. Let's bring back in our layer, and it looks like it's pretty dry. There might be a little bit of stuff left to it. It does feel a little damp still. However, as you know, I cannot do anything about it right now because I have no power, so I can't take my heat tool, but normally I would take my heat tool to it. My husband does have the generator going, but I'm not quite sure why it's not working in my house yet. So there we've got the thanks going on. I just need to adhere this to the front of the card. And it's the same size, so it makes it actually pretty easy to adhere. So that's great just the way it is, but ooh, how about if we bring in some bling? So here are some in color jewels, and I'm gonna take some of the pink and the yellow. Actually, there's only one yellow there, but I'm gonna take some of the pink ones. Oh, there's a couple more yellows here. So I'm gonna just bring them in here. And ooh, oh, I've got power now, thanks to the generator. However, I'm not gonna get my heat tool out right now because I've already attached it. He's a little bit too late with all that. So let's put that here. And then maybe we put another one right up here. Okay. So we've just blinged it up a little bit. If you wanted to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and I can put that somewhere on this envelope. I think I am going to put that right on the back. Now, because it is going on an envelope, I want to make sure it's stuck down really well. So I'm going to use this glue going right around it, all of it. And we'll put that right here. All right. Oh, I think my heart's crooked. There we go. There we go. And so there we have a nice little thank you card. Right in, you can do something on the inside. I know I didn't do anything on the inside of this one. I could use this other one that I put in and just have the inside say thanks as well, and my note goes somewhere here as well. But I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to keep it the way it is.